So I gave birth about 6 weeks ago, and there are so many new things that I need to get used to, like keeping a newborn alive, not sleeping for more than 3 hours at a time, and of course, all the ways in which my body has changed after pregnancy. This is my first video back after my pregnancy and after having my baby, and I wanted to be the first video in a little series about reclaiming my body and getting my confidence back. It's obviously going to be about me getting into working out again and eating healthier, but I want it to be about more than just superficial changes and losing the baby weight. I mainly want to challenge myself to learn how to love and appreciate my new body and be okay with the fact that it might not look like my old body before pregnancy. I got a lot of stretch marks on my stomach, I have some loose skin, and I also pretty much completely lost all the strength in my abdominal muscles. I didn't really work out throughout my pregnancy because I was either nauseous, exhausted, or just really heavy and uncomfortable. I pretty much worked out during my second trimester only, and I was doing like very light workouts. So I feel like I'm starting from like the bottom up when it comes to my physical strength and endurance and all that. First off, I want you guys to meet my baby daughter, Amelia. Say hi, Amelia. Say hi. I just want to say, before talking about getting my confidence back, reclaiming my body, getting back in shape, I just want to say that for her, I would go through everything 100 times over, like without even thinking, like all the anxiety, all the discomforts of pregnancy, my 30+ hour labor, my really painful postpartum period. These previous 6 weeks were not easy. But for her, it's all so worth it. I honestly just cannot describe how much I love her. My heart is so full of love for her, and everything else is just noise, and it's just a really small price to pay. During my pregnancy, I gained 28 pounds, which was within the recommended range for my body type and my pre-pregnancy weight. I think it was between 15 and 30 pounds. As I said, I did not exercise during pregnancy almost at all, and I felt really guilty about it, and I felt like a slop, but in the end of the day, I was just listening to my body. So this is me 1 week postpartum. I lost about 10 pounds pretty much right away between the birth and breastfeeding, but I still looked 4 months pregnant. I also had this horrible rash on my stretch marks that lasted about 3 weeks, and it was so incredibly itchy. That was hands down one of the worst things that I experienced postpartum. And this is my stomach now, 6 weeks later. Right now, I'm about 7 pounds heavier than I was pre-pregnancy. I look pretty much back to normal, but I would love to tone my abs a little bit more. I'm just now starting to work out more regularly, and I'm a bit more mindful of what I eat. I'm currently still doing just light exercise like walking, elliptical workouts, and some bodyweight strength training. But I try to move my body every day, even if it's just for a 30-minute walk. Aside from that, my skin is still pretty loose and the stretch marks are very much there and prominent, but hopefully they will fade away a bit as time goes by. In terms of what I ate during pregnancy, I was trying to follow the principles of intuitive eating again. I never restricted myself during pregnancy, but I was also trying not to eat like I'm never gonna eat again. I don't think I was eating too much like junk food and like candy and stuff like that, but every time when I had a craving, I would honor it. I would have whatever I was craving in reasonable amounts. And I feel like that helped me not gain too much weight. And then for my fitness journey after pregnancy, I also want to do that same thing. I want to continue following the principles of intuitive eating, but I think I will limit the amount of junk food and desserts and not so healthy things that I'm consuming, and focus on whole foods and more nutritionally dense foods versus foods that just have a lot of calories and then don't have a lot of nutritional value. So as you guys can see, I got a bunch of stretch marks, and I was stretch mark free for the most of my pregnancy. I probably got all of them starting the 7th month of my pregnancy. I was religiously putting like body oils and all kinds of moisturizers on my stomach, and I was really excited that everything is working so well. But then when I got into my 7th month, it started getting really out of control. my stretch marks were like popping everywhere. My skin was like super itchy and not super hydrated, and just like, I don't know, I just couldn't stop it. And I ended up with a lot of stretch marks. And honestly, I don't really care at this point. I thought I'm gonna be really upset if I had a lot of stretch marks, but as I said, it's just a lot of superficial changes, and it is such a small price to pay for having my baby, and it's just like, who cares? But I'm still doing things to try and reduce the appearance of them, or mainly try to hydrate my skin, because my skin feels so different than the rest of my body. It's just like constantly dehydrated. I try to moisturize it a couple times a day, like definitely morning and night. Sometimes in the middle of the day I use olive oil, and I use this like super hydrating lotion, and I do it 3 times a day. And then the next day when I touch my skin, it feels like so dry, like the desert. So it's really weird, but I hope like my skin elasticity and just the appearance of my skin evens out a little bit with this routine that I'm doing. I'm going to show you a little bit more about what I'm doing on a daily basis and weekly basis on my stretch marks, and we'll track my progress. So whatever I'm doing, if it's working, hopefully that's going to be helpful for you guys as well. So this is what I do for stretch marks. So a couple times a day I will use olive oil. It's in a vitamin E bottle, but it's actually olive oil, and I would slather that on my stomach like every morning and night, and possibly even in the middle of the day, like all over my stretch marks. They're the worst right here, so I would use the olive oil. And then I use this Eucerin Original Healing Cream, which I heard about from another girl on YouTube, and I'm just giving it a shot, and it's really, really moisturizing. I really like it so far. So I use that after the olive oil. It's this really thick consistency, kind of like body butter. And I follow up with that. And then about once a week, I also use derma roller on my stretch marks. I'm just trying it out. I've only done it like twice so far, so I'm not sure if there's huge progress, but I'm gonna update you guys on that. But I do that as well, in addition to the moisturizing regimen. So I think this is gonna be the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really missed you guys, and I'm excited to be back. If you have any video ideas, if you have any questions, if you have any specific topics that you want me to discuss in future videos or in this series, let me know in the comments down below. I will definitely continue doing my product reviews and wellness and self-care videos. So if you're interested in specific products and you want me to review them, let me know as well. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.